So if you are a high achieving woman and you feel like your business is not excelling the way you think it should be excelling, or you're looking for this beautiful promotion and you feel like you're just not moving in the space that you need to be moving in to get it, then you are in the right place, because I need you to know that there is nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you because they didn't promote you, or there's nothing wrong with you because you didn't get the sale, or when you pitched your product, no one bought it. It's not about how you're doing things. It's not about all of that. It is about who you are being in this moment. And so I want to help you by starting off with a quote. And this quote I use in almost every keynote that I do. And it says, if you desire something different, you don't get to be the same person. When you desire to have something different in your life, you don't get to be the same person. You get to be someone else. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to be someone totally different, that you don't even understand who it is. It's really about your behaviors and habits. Of course, the core of who you are is enough, and it's always going to be enough. However, your habits, your practices, the way that you're showing up in the world, now that energy, that is what gets to change so you can have different results. And so let me help you close that gap so that you can see more results in your promotion life, in the way that you launch your business, or even your personal life. Maybe you have health concerns and you're looking to just change the overall look of your health. Then this is a great time to start identifying as the person that actually has it. And so I actually just did a change challenge not too long ago that I might be doing soon, so look out for that. And when I did this change challenge, a lot of the work that we did was around identity. I had about 25 women. They were all looking to change, mostly in the area of money and in their personal life, just the way that they were showing up. And many of them said they wanted strategy. They're like, I want strategy, give me the step-by-step plan, all the things. But what I know, after someone that has trained over 30,000 leaders, I know that giving somebody strategy alone and letting them go ahead and just handle it, most likely, most of them are not going to do it if they already are struggling with believing that the outcome is possible for them. So the first thing you get to do when closing the gap, I like you to ask yourself, do I even believe that the result that I want is possible for me? Now, if the answer to that is no, then we gotta move ourselves up the belief scale. So you get to ask yourself, okay, on a scale from 1 to 10, if I'm like a 5, where do I want to go on this belief scale? Because identity work has a lot to do with what your level of belief is with what you can do in this moment. If I feel really good, I'm a skilled dancer, I'm a trained dancer, so I have a high level of belief about executing something in dance, right? But I've already identified myself as a dancer, but I'm not a football player. I'm not a Powerpuff football player, none of that. And so I don't identify as that. And so my belief scale on how I can execute on that is super low, like 0. And so when we have had some experiences in an area, our belief scale, we can put our number a little higher. But when we haven't had any experience, or our experiences have flopped, our belief scale is lower. And so that means we have to start with identity. We have to start with, okay, what would it look like if I was a football player, if I was a Powerpuff football player, whatever, tag, whatever, touch, whatever football? What would that look like if I decided that I was that person? What do they do? How do they work? How do they show up for themselves when it's time for them to start working out and preparing for a game? What is their mindset? You know, all of the things. So you have to consider, when you're thinking about a promotion, when you're thinking about launching your business, and you've never done those things before, or you've done it before, but the stakes are different. Maybe it's a different industry. Maybe it's a different level type of position that you've never had before. Maybe you've never been in the C-suite. And so it's like, okay, I've been directors before, I've been senior directors before, I've been all these other things, but maybe I haven't been in the C-suite yet, and that's what I'm looking to do. Or maybe you've been someone that has had businesses on the side, but this is your first time ever going public. You know, maybe you've been selling to friends and family, and now you're like, okay, I'm about to do a big thing now. it's going to be a shift in who you believe you are and what your identity is. And so you have to see yourself as that bigger version of yourself, the one that you actually see in your head that you've been suppressing. Because what happens is cognitive dissonance is a thing. And that's just the way that our brains are set up. Our brains don't like to see that we are valuing one thing that doesn't look like it aligns with who we are. So it's going to quickly dismiss the thing. And so if we are saying that we want a promotion, but on the inside, like in our subconscious, we're like, oh, I really don't think I deserve it, and I've never done that before. Maybe we're not saying it out loud. We're going through the motions, but we really don't believe it. So our brain is going to do things to sabotage it because we really don't believe it. And it keeps our brain safe and out of that tension, discomfort of, oh, she's saying one thing and she wants to do another. Let me keep her safe because she's saying something, but I don't think we're going to be able to do that. This is like your brain playing tricks on you. Your mind playing tricks on you, right? If you know the song. So anyway, it's really important that you consider, okay, asking yourself, okay, where am I on this belief scale? And if I believed that I could be a 7, what would that look like? Because this is the point. We get to close the gap. If my belief is here and I need to go from like a 5 to a 7, what would close that gap for me? And I want you to think about it in terms of behaviors. I want you to think about it in terms of energy, like the energy that you have toward a thing. I want you to think about it in the terms of the way you talk about yourself. I want you to think about it in terms of your posture and just the way that your environment is set up. And your environment can be the physical environment. It can be the people that you talk to. It can be just how you kind of move within your environment. Just think about all those things. And how could any of those things close the gap? How could you get closer to that 7 by shifting one of those things? I was working with one of my clients who worked at a global organization, and she was moving up. She was moving on up. And, you know, one of the things that she said she wanted to do to move up was like start being more active in more meetings in terms of taking on more projects, not just being active as I'm going to, you know, chair some of these meetings or anything like that. She wanted to be more active in taking on more projects. And I asked her, well, when you think about the position you desire to be in, is it someone that takes on more projects? And of course she said no. And I'm like, okay, well, let's take some time and think about what is that person like? How do they show up in meetings? How do they show up at work? How are they delegating? Just what are they like? And so when we started to really unpack that, she started writing this really great list of the things that she gets to start displaying now before she even has a position. And even more so, I'm like, go ahead and write down what that next position looks like. Salary, package, who you're working with, how your day is going, all the things. Within 3 months, she got the promotion with just about everything on the list, almost to the exact word, to the exact letter. And it's because she started to not just strategize alone, that 20% of what I believe is important. She started closing the gap in her belief by closing the gap in her identity. She started rising to the occasion of who she needed to be to have what she desired to have. And so that is what I challenge you with. Get your belief up so you can get your life up. Now, if you like this video, then you'll definitely love my main character energy playbook. So go ahead and click below, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.